damage on my card? Oh my god. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be going through something a little bit differently, not personal finance related, but something that's been a trending topic as of recently. So pretty recently, Logan Paul put out a video about buying booster packs from the Pokemon trading card series. I don't personally have my Pokemon cards at me. They're probably back at home in storage, but I do happen to play a lot of Pokemon. Like, check this out. I have a Pokédex, like the original Pokédex. You remember when this came out from Tiger? Like, you were trying to win contests just to get these. And I also have the limited edition Nintendo DS with a preloaded red and blue version, and then yellow versions on here too. The point of this video is not to follow a trend, but to look back on this other trading card game that I used to be really into. If you're not familiar with it, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Was pretty popular in the early 2000s to mid 2000s, and it still is today. Like, I do see new Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff going on. I remember my friends being like, hey, did you get the new starter deck? Whether it was a Yugi or Kaiba deck and you had a Blue Eyes or a Dark Magician. But anyways, I found a box recently and I didn't know what was in it, and then when I opened it up, I was like, oh my gosh, my old Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. So in honor of this trend, I'm going to go through these. I'm going to be revealing my ultra rares. I kind of sifted through them to kind of look at the holos because there are a lot of common cards. Let's go through that. If you're into it, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it. Alright, so I'm going to have a camera just set up right here. That way, when we're looking through these, we can kind of just see what's going on. This first one I want to present is just this deck I had, I think, structured based on just cards that I have. And I don't remember the theme of it. Looking at the top card, it might be like a machine deck, but let's see what it's all about. This is just a deck, and then I'll go through all my holos later. But anyways, let's go through this. Amplifier. It looks like it's an equipment card, but it only works on Jinzo. Oh, you know what? I think I know. This is my machine deck, and I actually have Jinzo in it, so let's look out for that. Blade Knight. Oh, you know what? It actually wasn't just a machine deck. I think this was a deck because what I used to like to do a lot was stack my deck with monsters with 4 stars or below, but with high attack. So anything above 1500, I did a lot. So you had Blade Knight, you see it has 1600. Oh, check this out. This is similar. Like, you have Luster Dragon, it has 1900 attack points. So I did a lot of that. Anything to where I didn't have to tribute summon anything, I could just lay them down. 4 stars or less. Graceful Charity, 1900. Same with that. Arc Fiend Soldier. So same thing, right? Reinforcement of the Army, Dark Blade, 1800. Marauder Captain. It's probably a warrior. Oh, here we go. Check that out. Jinzo. Check that. Check that. Hollow. Look at the sparkle on that. If it'll just zoom. I wish this would zoom. Can I zoom this manually? This was from the Pharaoh Servant pack. So you have PSV000. This was not a limited edition in the tin, but from the booster pack. So that was an awesome card. Oh, and check this out. Black Luster Soldier. This was also a cool one. So I actually just recently finished Duelist Kingdom, the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I remember when Yugi pulled this out using the Black Luster Ritual. Check that out. I think he tribute summoned with Gaia and Curse of Dragons, so that was super cool. Those are super cool cards. So that was that deck. I think the coolest cards in here were Black Luster Soldier and the Ritual and Jinzo. All right, let's look through some of these holos right here. Oh, you know what? Here we go. We got Black Illusion Ritual. So if you remember in Duelist Kingdom, Pegasus had the Millennium Eye, and he would be able to read his opponent's minds and see him. But that duel, it was a 5-part episode when Yugi faced him. He summoned Relinquished. And Relinquished was such an annoying card because anytime that he would absorb his opponent's characters, whenever the opponent would attack his own character through Relinquished, half that damage would be deducted from that person's life points. And then after that, you had Thousand Eyes Restrict. Oh my gosh. This one is such a cool card. Like, obviously you can defeat these cards easily, but these two cards, like, check this out. You had Black Illusion Ritual and Relinquished. They were in the boosters pack, the Magic Ruler. I believe it was Magic Rulers. And then Thousand Eyes Restrict didn't come out until Pharaoh's Servant. So you actually couldn't get this at the same time. But those 3 cards right there, you needed a polymerization to link these two to create this one. And obviously, if you don't know what I'm saying, it's cool. But for any Yugi fanatics, these are just really cool cards that I had. Backup Soldier, that's a nice holo. Oh, and here we go. So we had, I believe it was the Yu-Gi-Oh movie that these cards were used. Sphinx Telia, Thenan, the Great Sphinx. Yeah, so these two cards were from the movie. I think I still have that movie. Hold on a second. Oh, yep, here we go. Boom, Yu-Gi-Oh the movie. So this was probably, I think, in the midst of season 2 or 3. That was a really cool one. All right, let's keep going on here. All right, so next we have Call of the Haunted. This was a cool card. Joey Wheeler won it from Bones when Bandit Keith got him. Solemn Judgment, that's a nice one there. MRD, that's Magic Rulers. I think that's Magic Rulers. That was a fun card. Scapegoat, used that a lot. Restructors Revolution, Premature Burial, also Pharaoh Servant. I got a lot of Pharaoh Servants because I remember that's when I was, I think, in 5th grade or 6th grade, and Yu-Gi-Oh was starting to pick up. Boom, Red Eyes Black Dragon. Red Eyes Darkness Dragon, I think this was through a structured deck. Starlight Road, I don't remember where I got this, but that's a nice card right there. Asura the Priest. I wish this was more freaking focused. Oh, there we go. All right, Kaiku, the Ghost Destroyer. Megamorph, oh dude. So Megamorph, let's see, if your life points are lower than your opponent's, it would double the attack power. So just imagine if you equip this to freaking Blue Eyes White Dragon, 6,000 attack points. Polymerization, I mentioned this earlier. If you have fusion monsters, this is really useful. Ah, there we go. So here's the Toon World that went with all those Toon monsters from before. So we have Toon Mermaid, Toon Goblin Attack Force, Toon Gemini Elf, another Goblin Attack Force, another Gemini Elf, Toon Summon Skull, Magna Rairan. Toon World was so annoying because basically you could discard cards so your monsters wouldn't die. Android Sphinx, the Masked Beast. I have a couple of these, so, you know, I'll probably sell those. Those are pretty fun. You need the Ritual Summon card to get that. Reload, there's a nice holo. Trap Hole from Legend of Blue Eyes. Oh, dude. There's some damage here, but it was cool having a Trap Hole. Trap Hole came with some of the starter decks, but having a holo was fun. Mage Power, Scapegoat again. Here's a cool one, Neospatian Air Hummingbird. Gain some life points. Nice little holo right there. Bazoo the Soul Eater. Ah, nice. There's a nice Blue Eyes White Dragon. First edition. This print was different from the one from the show, and I thought that was always cool. Ooh, Celtic Guardian was always a go-to. It was really cool when I got this from LOB. I mentioned the movie earlier. Blue Eyes Shining Dragon. This one came from the movie. This one was cool. Basically, it's the same attack, strength, and defense of a Blue Eyes White Dragon, but with a special effect. Oh, Dark Necrofear. Okay, so I didn't mention this earlier, but I used to go to tournaments, like local tournaments in my hometown at the Walmart where my mom would work at, and sometimes they would have giveaways where if you won a match, you'd win a card. This Dark Necrofear was one of those cards. So that was a cool one to get. Fiend Effect, I have a couple of these, so I won a couple matches that day and won a couple of these. Andros Sphinx again, Graceful Dice, it's similar like to the Skull Dice. Oh, and Harpy's Feather Dust. I think these came from a video game. I have a couple more, and I just wanted to say this because this next set of stuff is kind of like the special stuff that are kind of near and dear to my heart. This isn't the whole collection. Like, I'm pretty sure with all the commons and stuff that I probably have still back at home, I have a lot. But here's the next set of cards that I think are super cool and I want to mention on the video. 1, 2, 3. So I remember in the show, Seto Kaiba really wanted that 4th Blue Eyes because there were only 4 printed at all. He had 3 of them, and who had the last one? It was Yugi's grandpa. And he basically said, hey, Gramps, I will pay you any amount that you want for that card. And then he didn't give it to him, but then he dueled him for it, took it, and literally tore up the card. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. I still have it in the pack, limited edition. I had this more of just a keepsake, and honestly, it's super cool. Whenever you have a polymerization and you fuse all 3 Blue Eyes, this is what you get. You get a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Slifer the Sky Dragon, Egyptian God card. You have Obelisk the Tormentor, Egyptian God card. And Ring Dragon of Ra. So you had all 3 Egyptian God cards, and These were just cool. You couldn't use them in tournament play. They don't even really have like descriptions on how you play them. I mean, technically, I guess Obelisk would be one that you can use by tribute summon. Those were fun to have. I remember just getting these growing up, and I was like, man, these would be cool to have. Had Alpha, Beta, and Gamma. So these were the Magna Warriors that Yugi used. And then if you fuse them together, not technically fuse, but you can offer them as a summon to bring Valkyrian the Magna Warrior. That was super cool playing these. Like, a lot of these cards I don't have in sleeves because I actually did use them for tournament play, or I did duel with them. Probably should get sleeves for all these because they're probably pretty rare now. Like, you probably can't find these anywhere, but they could be worth something. So who remembers this card set? You have the right leg of the Forbidden One. You have the left leg of the Forbidden One. You have the left arm of the Forbidden One. And you have the right arm. That summons Exodia the Forbidden One. Anytime that you had these 5 cards in your hand, you instantly win the game. Like, I had a deck back when I was, I think, in 6th grade that was totally just about pulling these cards. It was Witch the Black Forest, Sanguine, Rotten Tomato or Dark Tomato, whatever, and just a bunch of cards where I would be drawing cards. Pot of Greed, Jar of Greed. That's how I would win the game. But guess what I did? So if you notice, this is a holo, this one's not a holo, this one's a holo, this one's not, and this one is. So I'm missing 2 holos. And on top of that, the only one that's from the original booster pack is this right leg right here. You can see LOB 120. So this one, I believe, is a reprint, LOBEN, so English 123. And then these other ones, not holo, but I used to actually have the original LOB 120 through 125 Exodia pieces, first edition, and I traded them away. God damn. I got this Injection Fairy Lily. I remember I was at one of the tournaments where I was facing this guy. I think he was either late middle school or early high school. He had a very powerful deck that basically wiped my Exodia deck. And he was like, I will trade you this stack of rare cards. I think it was maybe like that thick of super and ultra rare cards. And he was like, I'll trade you all these for your Exodia pieces. All the kids were like, oh man, you gotta do it, Ver. You gotta do it. And I was just like, oh man. And I'm looking online right now. If you look online for Exodia LOB first edition set, these things go for a couple $100. Some that are in mint condition are probably going for thousands. Like, this is my last one. You have Dark Magician. Everyone knows Dark Magician. That was Yugi's favorite monster. And just the whole series in itself, it brings me back to a point in my life where I didn't have a lot of worries. I was just playing my cards. There was one time a kid stole my deck. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. If you stuck around to watch the cards that I presented today, I really appreciate it too. Smash the like button, hit subscribe because I do push out other content. Ring the notification bell so you know the next time that happens. You can find me on Instagram. I post about this. I'll probably be posting about some of these cards on my Instagram, so check that out. I don't know if I'll be selling, but if you're willing to, give me an offer, I might consider it. Also, there's a couple links in the description below, not related to Yu-Gi-Oh, but related to finance and investing. If you want 4 free stocks, Weeble's giving away 3, where 2 of them is no less than $8. Robinhood's giving out the one where if you sign up. There's another link to Yada, where it's basically a savings account. You could potentially win $10 million. And also, I have to say this, if you go to your browser right now and type in millennial.investments, that's it, no www, nothing like that. You could go to a page or a website where if you put in your email, you'll be put into a newsletter subscription where me and a couple friends of mine are going to be putting out new content in the new year. Check that out, millennial.investments. With the knowledge that you gained from this video or just the nostalgia that you got from this video, you know what to do. Let's get to work.
Bye.